Hey friends, it's Simone. It's another Journal with Me video in my Hobonichi Weeks. Here I'm showing you how I have changed my storage system. Before I had all the things that I wanted to use in my Hobonichi Weeks in this folder, and now I have put them into this file coupon holder because I have so much stuff that I want to use. I originally had planned to put it into this sticker album, but it chunked up so un I didn't like it. And so I decided to stop and go ahead and switch it over to this. And then I'm just numbering the things that I want to use. Most of them are from Happy Meals from friends. This one is from my friend Kim. Um, and I'm just going to use each one of the packages in one weekly spread. So this is a MU print on stickers. These are rub-ons, transfer stickers. I have never used them before, but they are so exciting. I love how this spread turned out. I can tell you right from the start. Um, I have never used them, and now I'm like, ooh, I need so many more of those. But that can wait because did you see that green folder? Yeah, that's all the different packets, and it's more than actually 12. So there's 12 slots for each month of the year. I'm not using it that way, it's just still in there. I'm just using one slot for one of the packets that some of my friends or something I purchased came in from one specific shop. I haven't purchased that much to be honest, but yeah. So I usually will put in the Patreon Happy Mail from Sissy's Art Cafe. Then I'm subscribed to the Extravagant Hope mail from Brandy Kincaid. So I'm getting one envelope every week. So I would like to make use of the things that she sends us. So yes, I will put that in there. And then every time I've purchased something from Cute Things from Japan, so that is in there as well. And the rest of the stuff is Happy Mail from you people all out there in the world. Um, I have been really loving this challenge. If you've been watching the past weeks, you can see how that has actually changed my drilling style kind of. I'm pulling out one packet of stuff as kind of the base, the challenge to create something new in a weekly spread in my weeks. And then as you can see, I am pulling in items from my stash as well, but the starting point is always the thing that I receive in the mail. So as I said, these are these rub-ons from MU, and my friend Kim sent them to me for Christmas, and so I'm trying to create something, and I'm trying to keep an open mind regarding the um, creation of, or yeah, the design of the spread. I used to put a cluster on the right side of this page and then document my week. There is 5 slots for each day of the week. 5. Yeah. Since when do weeks have only 5 days? Work weeks do, but usually weeks have 7 days. So there's 7 slots for each days of the week. And what I used to do was I showed you a closer look at this swan. Let's just swoon about the little teeny tiny flowers that were in there. Did you see that? If not, you have to go back and look at it again. It's precious. I loved it. I still love it. I have one left. I will use it. Um, yes. So my recipe for this past year when I was doing it in 2020 and in the beginning of this year was to create some kind of cluster in on the right side, and then use my watercolors, write one word each day in watercolor lettering on the left side, one for each day, and then fill in the rest of the space with whimsical planner stickers because I just love them, and a black pen to fill in the blank spaces and add more info about the day. So here is me starting very similar, but I soon realized that I do not want to do this this week because I feel like the flowers in the top and then the cluster in the bottom, if I would I didn't have anything else to put there, and I felt like it was very bare and it wouldn't look nicely balanced if I had put all the info and all the text and all the stuff on the left and then had left it bare like this. So after I added, I think this is the last, not the last, I will fill the full spread, but here is where I start realizing that I don't have to stick to my recipe, but that I can branch out. I did the same thing last week and it worked out really great. And so this week, doing the very same, branching out and adding my writing and all the things across the whole spread worked really, really well. One thing that needs to be said about these rub-on stickers, and that is true for all rub-on stickers, is that when you put them on the pages where you have already written on the other side, so when I rub on these stickers onto the left side of my spread, there will be some rub off pigment from my text that I have written in the previous spreads rubbing onto the other side. Unfortunately, I don't have a photo of that. I will be filming a flip through of my weeks in, I think, at the end of February. That's how I planned it out. And if everything goes well, that's when you will see it, where I can go into more detail about this and show this to you. So when I put text onto the right side, I also subconsciously made the decision to put more than just one single thing onto the right side, because the way the page is set up with the flowers on the top and then the swan and the rose on the bottom, if I had put a single thing there, it would have been very prominent on the page. And if I had wanted to do this from the beginning, if I had planned it, then yes, of course, this is how I could have done it and put one thing, maybe the most important thing of the week, or a quote that touched me that week, something very, very special on that side, and then make it stand out that way. But I didn't do that. I didn't make that design decision. And so I went with spreading out the whole spread over the 2 pages, which is actually really good. My natural handwriting is not tiny. And so I can write small and it doesn't really affect me in any way, but it definitely is nice that I do not have to concentrate and write intentionally small, if that makes sense. So by spreading out over the 2 pages, I'm not necessarily adding more info than I would have had I just used the left side, but I am allowing myself to use my regular handwriting and also to leave more space and air, breathing room in between the info and decoration that I'm adding. And when you, as you can see, or when you look at how the rest of the page evolves, there's also then some spaces not filled in that probably would have been if I had set up this spread completely different. if you have watched some of my other Journal with Me videos before in this Hobonichi Weeks, you might have noticed that I'm talking about this recipe all the time. I have kind of developed this recipe over the past year, and it's a very nice, easy way to journal in this weeks for me. But now that I'm branching out, I am not following the same steps. So usually I would add all the cluster bigger collage decoration on the right side, and then I would use my watercolors to add in the words, and then I would have to wait until all of that is dry until I could add the rest. Now I am adding things as I'm going, and I really need to be very, very careful about not smudging the things that I just added with my hands. So I'm trying to be very mindful of that. it it's To be honest, it's a completely different experience, and I definitely needed that just now. So if you are in kind of a rut at the moment, or something is not working, you're not feeling inspired to grab the thing that you thought you were in love with, maybe you should start asking yourself these questions. What exactly isn't working, and why do I want to love this but I'm not? I I was very this was very or this happened my journaling change was happened very organically. I started just by the way that I'm approaching using my stuff this year. I am challenging myself to use everything that I receive, and these little teeny tiny packets require me to approach this journaling in a different way. So I wasn't very drawn to it, not as much as I had thought in the beginning of the year. And then I, at the same time, started to determine that this is how I was going to use Happy Mail that came in. And then all of a sudden, my reluctance to grab this journal and actually journal in it went away. So I solved my problem before I even realized that I had one. But now that I'm doing this kind of journal challenge with myself, I notice how I was caught in my own ways again. I feel this is something that I definitely struggle with this a lot, that I'm setting myself rules, even though I don't even realize that they are rules, or I'm doing things a certain way, having routines, which is a good thing. But sometimes you start to trap yourself in those routines, and getting out of them even before you realize that they are a problem is definitely the best way to go about it. But when you're inside it, start asking those questions. Start thinking about other ways you can do something that you thought you liked, you loved, or that you want to do, but you just aren't really drawn to it. This spread definitely turned out a lot darker than I had expected. I usually take the color scheme from the stickers, the decoration that I'm using, and this definitely was a very moody color scheme, but I still really, really like how this turned out. I'm super happy and excited to continue in this journey along the way, using all the fun happy mail that my friends sent me. Sometimes I'm very reluctant, not reluctant, that's not the right word. Yeah, just how am I going to use this? Yeah, questioning if I will be able to use the things and create something really nice with it, because some of the things you send are hard for me to use. And so this will be definitely fun and challenging, and I'm very, very excited every week when I sit down to create my journaling spread. And that's it. That's how it should be, shouldn't it? We want to have fun while we create. Tell me how you are changing things up in your journaling. What are you doing differently? How do you keep things exciting? I would love to hear in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon. Until then, bye.